Not my fault.
I'm verifying. There's no way. You could just make up stuff and we would have to just take your word for it. What did you say level 1 familiar was?
25.
25 damage? God damn it, he's right.
Yeah, it used to be 30 and then they nerfed it.
I think Aster came into this game with a plan, seeing this Luna pick. Because this is just a combo. Straight up.
And I've also always loved Luna against Timbersaw. One of the few carries that, like, between her and the support, right-clicking you early, enough damage with the aura, and then also...
that's the NA thing, right? All the NA teams like to pick Luna against Timbersaw.
And then
it's good.
You also screw off into the jungle later.
Yeah.
So, like, even though Timbersaw ends up, like, no carry wants to lane against Timbersaw when he's level 6. So, at that point, you're usually happy to dip out. I've even sometimes seen Lunas go, like, 2-0-3 or 3-0-2 with the intent to kill the Timbersaw with Eclipse. But that really depends on, like, what hero Sumail's going to be. They would have to have a mid-rotation. I guess, actually, the Bavoka Lion could potentially set that up.
It'll all depend on how the lane's going. If the Timber has a good start, I think that they'll pretty happy with the jungle, but the Timber is slowed down a bit by the Dirge, right, early game, then I think they'll probably rotate to the Luna and keep them down a bit longer before they rotate out to the jungle.
Makes sense.
So Luna's great against Timber, but how's the Morphling matchup? Because
often
not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's an agi carry, so this seems like we were always like, oh, Morphling becomes the better other hero.
Morphling is like the Rubik for carries right now.
Yeah.
It's all about the clock.
You can't just not pick spells versus Rubik.
Yeah.
You can't just not pick a carry versus Morphling.
Well, the Luna's also enabling the rest of the team, in this case the Visage, right? So it's... I would even say Lion as a support is like decent with the 20 damage at nighttime because he's usually walking around at runes and like interacting with supports randomly on the map, and usually Lion impales you and then it's not much of a follow-up to that, but suddenly, you know, you give a hero like Phase Boot's worth of damage and their clicks start to hurt. So I really like these supports that tend to lose trades on the map with Luna because now suddenly they don't, and it actually amplifies their ability to roam freely. And then theoretically, when this Visage gets 6, I imagine Morph will 100% get shoved out of lane at that point.
Yes.
With the birds having the Luna aura.
Typically is hard. So I was wondering what Quest would pick because their playstyle to me was to pick a mid that rotates and then go to the side lanes. And then you got the Lesh.
I don't like the Lesh pick, to be honest.
Don't they have too many like squishy heroes?
They have too many heroes that do the same thing, I think.
They've committed to full deathball here.
I look at the Quest heroes, I don't think I want Lesh. There's no illusion heroes. There's like 2 types of heroes Lesh wants. Ones that he kills faster than they kill him, like illusion heroes, where he'll just lifesteal off of you. And the other one is when a bunch of guys are like up in your face dealing point blank damage, and you can just out-sustain them. So yeah, they have 2 melee heroes, the Timbersaw and the Primal, but these heroes don't like sit around you for a long time. You know, Timber's like chaining through you, Primal's charging through you, Morph's like wave forming onto you. So I feel like I really liked Aster's draft until this Leshrac pick. He doesn't have any saves. He doesn't have I guess maybe the Tombstone, but yeah, I think they kind of botched it with his last one.
Is there another mid who would have been as aggressive with the push? Because Moo, you see that Lesh and you're like, they're just going to mow down these towers.
Yeah, I think their plan is to get the first Aegis and then try to get a Rax. Like the late game for Quest might be a bit better. Get the BKBs on the Timber and the Morph or something and kind of go. But we'll see. I'm honestly kind of conflicted about this one. I think these are both good teams. They have good drafts for their team.
Right.
I'd probably go with Aster on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respect. See if it happens. Let's get ready for game number 1 of Quest going up against Team Aster with ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Tsunami. Yes, looking forward to this game 1 coming up of Aster vs Quest Esports. And it looks like, you know, well, we know with Quest, they don't mind taking the games kind of late. They've had some pretty long games, a very long one in particular. Aster, they've said we don't want to do that. No, not at all. They've picked heroes to just kind of run it down mid and put this game to a fog. Is that going to work out for them?
Definitely looks difficult with the way the Quest has been able to kind of stall things out, and I think they're really good at playing the map, so it does look difficult, but if Aster's able to get the ball rolling, they have that push lineup, so I'm looking forward to see if it is going to work, because they are very fragile. That's the one thing I'm worried for them is their front line. If the Visage doesn't get off to a good start, things can quickly become problematic for you know, you go first, like you get in the front line, you take spells, because it's going to be a situation where there's going to be this Primal Beast charging in, this Timbersaw charging and dealing the damage. Who's going to be the one that wants to actually soak it on Aster? If they can't get that ball rolling, let's see what they can do. Because yeah, tons of push. The Visage with that Luna. We've seen these birds with the Luna aura, how much they can do. And we've seen the Lesh matchup versus the Primal, I believe, a couple times now, where the Lesh has a good advantage over the Primal over the laning phase. It's just in the mid game, you have to be careful because there's a lot of damage, a lot of bursts on the side of Quest, which that's what worries me for Sumail. That's when the Shard comes out, right? For the Undying, you have some type of saves, but before that, there's some very limited save to actually protect Sumail versus Heaven.
And, you know, sure, you know, Sumail on his Lesh, absolutely every reason to respect it and look forward to what he can do. But as of recent, Noob on his mid-primal has been pretty good.
He is so good at, he knows all the little tricks, right? The chain stun combos and stuff like that, the big bursts. We saw in particular, I know me and you casted the Bet Boom versus Quest one, and Noob actually completely destroyed the whole game on it. He was versus a Prangolier in the game, so it was a little bit easier for him overall, I would say, but I've seen this man just absolutely take over games. Let's see what we get. Let's see if the line works. The line feels like it's a little bit, it doesn't match the rest of the draft either. That's my one thing too. I guess it's a good line for getting the catch and stuff like that on the Morphling. Perhaps that's what they want for the most part in the laning phase. But when you look at the other 4 heroes, they're all about grouping. Line's a little bit different.
I mean, do you feel sort of this top lane tier 2000 is going to feel the pressure? Like how easy of this lane is it going to be for more backed up by a silencer?
It's definitely not the easiest lane for TN2000 by any means. It's a ton of damage between these two. Line's gotten buffed over and over and over again. You have good right click, same thing with the Visage. And this is the answer that Aster has done, I believe, multiple times now, if I'm not mistaken, to try to go for this Morphling. It's worked here and there. It's something that they've done before, and it's something they believe in, so it's important to believe in your own style here. If they're able to get off the bat, if they're able to snowball, their draft absolutely can take towers and just really take over the map early. Can you deal with the Amar Timber, deal with this Noob, of course, playing his Primal Beast, and can't even just take away credit from Omar. This is actually one of his, this might be my favorite hero he plays. His Rubik and his Clockwork are phenomenal, and he's got some godly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what's sort of top of the list for him? I mean, already that top lane, the power of the two of them, as you say, a lot of damage from Lion and Visage. Catch out Kaori.
A lot of kill threat. They just play to like, just hit this Morphling, hit this Silencer every time that they stack up. So this time the Morph does not have the backup with like some super strong buy position. He doesn't have a Clockwork on Undying.
Well, down bottom. Oh, we'll make sure the Quest strike back hard. They'll get a kill themselves. The offlane do it.
I mean, constant kills on these side lanes. Seeing that effect of the mid lane. Why they snap pick that Lesh, of course, versus them in this matchup.
Sumail doing an excellent job of making life difficult for Noob on these first few waves.
Yeah, it's just really... And Lightning's just, like I mentioned in the last game too, it's just gotten so many buffs. Noob. He's going to just not play the lane. Looks like he's going to do what I've seen some Primal Beasts do, is you pull it to a neutral camp. So I think I talked about it the other day. You just use Trample to abuse, just keep stacking up these waves and get that little bit of extra farm. So Sumail, he's going to drag. He's going to follow him.
All right, he wants to try and what sort of persisted at making the lanes, the waves meet, or is he himself going to look to try and farm a camp?
He was trying to, was he like trying to get the other way, but you can't aggro it.
I was going to say, is it probably a good job for his offlane that it did?
Yeah.
He was stealing away from the offlane.
If he's stealing away from Amar, I don't know if you want to do that.
Amar would not be happy. He would not be happy if those creeps didn't turn up in his lane.
Okay, so Sumail kind of cuts the mid wave a little bit so that he gets some power damage and stuff. Okay, little bits of things. Let's see if Noob maybe makes early rotation.
We've seen him do this before, right? Yeah. If the lane's not going, you know, great, and it's not down to the player, it's down to the hero matchup, for the most part, he can look to make early rotations. As for now, it doesn't seem to find the opportunity to head all the way down bottom, so we'll return to mid.
Not this early does he want to make the move. But we have seen Primals, I mean, I don't know who's the first one. I know a lot of people talk about Thompson and pubs and stuff like that. It's like you just move a ton from mid lane since you have that long range onslaught. But so far, so good for Aster.
It's just so much burst, Kaori. Not a chance. XXS and Pabo could take him down again.
And he's slowing down TA2000. He's still got 15 last hits, but yeah, it's
Noob.
a good start for Aster.
I mean, it tries to go for Sumail, but Sumail's able to hold him back with the stun.
Power Rune. Are they going to give some help? It looks like both sides are going to.
Or is it going to be top or bottom?
Water Rune, so
that's
they're both there.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Just testing.
both be able to get that little bit of a refill.
CS at the moment, yeah, Sumail still quite the lead. 26 for 7 against the 19 and 0.
He's getting quite a fair bit of denies. Team bottom, Monet still free farming, but Amar's not getting pushed out. So that's, as we've seen, Amar tends to not really get pushed away. They're very good at all these kind of matchups, even though, as they talked about the Luna, this is something that NA and a couple of different regions do try to go for when you're playing versus these tanky offlaners. XXS again top.
Just a very difficult place for Corey to be in. He's going to turn, get the curse off, but will go down again. We'll see if Tier 2000 can find Bo3 in return. He can. Verify will not save Bo3. Tier 2000 finds one of them. Won't be able to get XXS. XXS able to a fair bit of damage back. Still relying on a lot of one charges and Tier 2000, despite the fact that Corey's dying quite a few times up there, he's still doing all right.
Yeah, made it. Trying to set up onto Noob. They've got the Hex. They've got another Lightning. They almost have enough. But
Onslaught's available.
Not quite. Building up Sumail's bottle, though, enabling this Lesh to continue dominating the match. 34-11. Excellent start. This time, though, like you said, yeah, Kaori dies top, but they get the trade kill at the least, and now he is going to be able to go mid, refill the bottle, perhaps pack some tangos over as well. Yeah, so far, Aster. Pretty decent stuff so in the laning phase, although TA 2000 is starting to recover. 26 and 11 on these last hits.
I mean, and I guess the thing is as well for Quest, in terms of their lineup being able to come up and turn up to sort of the pushes that Aster are going to try and come at them with, it's not terrible, right?
No, they
can put together pretty good defenses around these towers, especially if Amar is off to a good start and gets the stop quick timing. They get the catch. And got the burst.
Nicely done.
Yeah. These two are doing fantastic. XXS and Baboka this lane. It's gone pretty beautiful.
They didn't put vision on the side there in particular, right? So he actually has the opportunity to go for this stun and chain stun onto the Morph without him actually seeing anything as Sumail. This time he won't get lucky. This is a big
Kaori again.
Kaori.
They're going to run him down. He's not even going to get his own bounty, and Baboka's able to steal that. It's another death on the silencer. 4 deaths already. Corey's having a tough early game.
Super tough early game. I mean, I think this is some of the most deaths I think I've seen on him at this tournament at this point. Noob, he will find a haste rune out of it though, which is a really good kill setup rune, especially for squishy side.
Oh yeah, he
definitely has kill threat on
really wants to get Monet.
Yeah, Luna or Visage can definitely be in trouble, but he's dragging the creep wave, so Monet will see it. He'll be able to walk back to his top.
Avoiding these early attempts from Quest Esports here, Aster.
This is a phenomenal start here. XXS nearly has a solar crest. He actually pretty much has the solar crest done and he's about to hit 6, so he's going to be able to continue applying pressure up here nicely. I like this solar crest build, actually. Feels good. It's all about buffing up Monet, getting that early tempo going, getting the tower pushes going.
Good potential to be a pretty strong snowball quite early from Aster's lineup.
Yep. But definitely, like you said, there is ways for Quest to be able to fight around it. We're seeing a lot of stacks coming out here. Noob, he's going to start working on them. Since Amar is actually the most important one, I would say, to be able to show up and defend these towers early in this game. And he is the one who, at least for the side of Quest, is having the best. But definitely kill threat onto him too. Tons of magic damage, tons of burst onto Aster.
Your Noob looks to go. He's at the level 7, so
he's got 7.
It's good to go with the max trample.
He got the Dream Neutral as well. He got the Occult Bracelet, so it's very tanky, actually. 1500 HP with that extra little bit of magic resist.
Let's see where he looks to go. I mean, top lane could be pretty good because Aster might bait it in to go aggressive, and DJ's TPing over the top.
Gonna get a Tombstone, and they might just be able to get a free kill onto the Undying here.
Let's see if they can. Yeah, Pichu, he's been surrounded. See if Baboka and XXS to do anything to help out. They have got the stun.
Nice.
X as well. They managed to hold back Noob a little bit, but they'll still lose Pichu. They'll get the pulverized onto XXS. He's out of options as well. Good rotation from Noob with the TP top. Able to slam down some of the struggles that Quest Esports were dealing with up there as they take out the 2 of them.
And they send Omar to the mid lane so that he can just deal with the Sumail trying to get any type of push there. And Omar, he's maximizing, so getting that farm going. And now they're actually the ones with the gold lead. A huge rotation. I knew found the literal best rune, right? The haste rune is probably the best thing you can get onto a Primal Beast this early. Easily able to get onto both heroes.
Yeah, and he'll be able to swing back around towards the mid, take over from there. Omar's freed up to be able to look to maybe join forces. Maybe even down bottom. I mean, bottom is still a bit of a difficult place to play. I guess Amar, he's super strong, he's hard to kill. But finding Monet could be a bit difficult as Monet sticking to the jungle and staying away from the lane for the most part.
Yeah, Omar more just wanting to sap the XP, right? Whenever Noob does make the rotation around. Amar's fine on his own. gonna have good timing.
We don't want to try and put the pressure on mid now, Aster. Both supports, Boca and Pichu.
Their whole lineup is about pressure, right? So they kind of have to always play like this. Otherwise, you can't really give up. You don't really want to, at least on the form of Aster's. Giving up early kills, allowing Quest to just keep this game kind of even. You want to get that ball rolling very quickly here. So I imagine Sumail maybe see some points in Edicts coming out soon. He wanted this lightning, of course, though, for the lane. Bottom tower, though, Quest, they're the ones who are actually starting to probably get the first tower on the board.
It looks to be. I mean, Money's going to move himself up to the top lane, so they can start pressuring a tier 1 there, but indeed, as it stands, with the fact that this bottom lane's been completely abandoned, Quest will be on track to get a good timing with the tier 1 tower push.
Top dies fast, though. Gets his familiars with that Luna aura. It is level 4. It's dropped down very quickly here.
Don't look now, but Radiant's bottom tower is getting...
Mono can now start to take over some of the jungle of Quest themselves. They've moved the mid lane. Sumail trying to get the setup.
He's safe.
Might catch him with the stun. 10-minute power rune. He's going to get lucky with that one. Noob's going to check the bottom. Sumail and Pichu up to the top.
I'm seeing a ton of stacks being formed for Quest. Aster, this is, I think the next best thing that they could probably have happen is if they can take this mid tower and somewhat get into this triangle. But I think Quest, they're actually just going to farm these stacks right now.
Yeah, solid room for Noob as well. He's able to find himself a DD.
He's got the Ogre Club now too. I mean, this hero is unbelievably tanky. Even if you do get behind a little bit inside that early game, you can just see his HP pool, right? He's 1600 HP or more when he does get that delivered with an Occult Bracelet. There's Aster, they have constant kill threat though, because how much damage they do have, but now that it's daytime, a little bit harder for you to play around at least the Visage familiars with that Lunar Blessing. Aster trying to get the book a level.
Let's see this bottom lane. They're trying to pick up a little around the tower over Boca. Sumail, he's actually going to turn up there. They do indeed have the vision on Noob, so Noob, be aware now.
Amar, top of net worth, now farming Ancients. He's nearly finished with his Ancient stacks. Good game. And it's chilling. I feel like Quest is kind of happy.
They're always going to be happy with this sort of period of play. I mean, Amar, yeah, full free farm.
Bottom for Boca. Aster does connect onto him. They've got the grab and free kill. Both supports, I mean, Kaori and him very kind of under-leveled, but Boca just trying to find that farm for that level 6.
These signs of a bit of a slowdown, definitely going to be causing more concern for Aster than for Quest, without a doubt. I mean, the timings are going to be hit still by morning. You know, the Mask of Madness into the Dragon Lance. We'll just see if he wants to sort of get the BKB and then kind of go for the full-on pushes.
See? They definitely want to just still try to pressure any time that you can around mid, or anytime you see any of these heroes low on the side of Quest. Omar is a bit low. They're going to try to go for mid. Omar set up onto him.
Should easily have him in the 4 of them. He is gone.
Might enable him to get this tower. Accelerating things a little bit here, but in the meantime, I mean, Noob, he's cutting bottom wave. TA2000, he is just absolutely free farming during all of this. So the onus is on Aster really to just keep the ball rolling, keeping the Sumail enabled as much as possible. He does have his Bloodstone now. Just keep his presence on the map.
Quest, just pretty much in all the games that we see them, they're just so good at maximizing the farm.
Good at maximizing and knowing when to take the fights when they get those big items.
You're absolutely on a timer when you play against Quest, especially with this sort of lineup.
100%. He is getting some okay timings here. The thing is though that's scary is that he's actually like neck and neck with the Morphling. Like you want your Luna just be like boom, like getting way ahead, because you know you get that big farm rate, of course. But he did have to put like early more points, of course, in Lunar Blessing so that he can get that aura for the Visage. But
I mean, it's not. It doesn't feel like one of those games where this Luna's going to turn up and start shredding through the heroes of Quest, right? You've got 2 beefy cores. I mean, 3 honestly as well with the way the Morphling can play. So
it'd be difficult. It could get difficult quickly if you aren't getting more. You can just see the way that Quest is playing. Like they're just okay. You want to play farm game? Sure.
Yeah. Quest
do that.
Super happy.
Yep. Looking. They're literally just Noob is just pulling like creeps together. He just continues just trampling neutrals. Amar is farming Ancients. Chilling.
Hitting level 12. He's just looking to get his BKB on as well after Kaya. So you know, Amar's going to be fully prepared to deal with these pushes that will come in from Aster around Sumail and Monet.
I think Aster, maybe you want to look for maybe a kill and just perhaps a super early Roshan attempt with their line, because they do kill Rosh very, very fast. I actually think they could perhaps go into it very soon. They've got Undying, they've got the birds, they've got the blessing. Soon to be nighttime. Maybe that's a timing that they're going to be waiting for, just so that it is that global lunar threat. It's buying time, right? Quest, BKB near out for the Primal Beast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just sort of saying we want the mech on XXS, the BKB on Monet, and somehow he wants his Jules. But I feel like this has been sometimes some of the problems that we've seen from Aster and some of the other games that they play, where sometimes they kind of get off to a good start in the lanes, but it gets just slowed down a little bit too much.
Slowed down a lot. They're gonna. I mean, it's gonna be a big thing around that Rosh if they're able to get it and get that speed.
I mean, I feel like Quest will fight them there.
It does feel, yeah. I mean, especially with the way you see Amar itemizing. If he does go for the BKB, I think that's an indicator of, we're gonna double BKB fight you around Rosh, and if you don't get a successful situation around Rosh, like you will start to lose this game very, very quickly. You need to get a snowball. And BKB is about to be done for Noob. They might be able to catch him though.
Boca?
The onslaught off.
Yeah, but Boca not able to get the catch on him beforehand.
Now his buddies are connecting. This could get awkward real fast.
SML's not going to be able to set up for his own stun either. Noob a bit too speedy with the phase, but it's a bit of an awkward opening there. Even if they did get the opening stun, I don't know if they would they have had enough damage throughout the 3 kind of stuns, the 2 stuns and the Hex to kill him, do you think?
I don't know. Would have been close. But either way, it's Rosh time. For Aster, it's time to go up there immediately. It's nighttime. X success, as you said, Solo Crest mech. Stand Monet up there. Get this Rosh, accelerate stuff. Yeah, that is what their draft is playing around. Okay. It's getting an advantage, getting Rosh, get this, get everything
2 tier 2 towers, I feel like, would be the minimum that they'd be happy with under the timing of an Aegis.
But you can see the Quest, I mean, are they actually going to even look to contest it? They do have, I believe, one of the BKBs, but they don't have a Mars, so maybe the call is just continue to split up, continue to farm.
Yeah, it looks like Noob's not going to head into the gate, so if they're aware of this happening, they're going to let it happen?
Yep. I'd imagine they are. I mean, the way that the Quest is playing the map, everyone's farming him. Look how far Kaori is playing up on bottom lane, so that kind of says everything of him. Knowing, they'll scan just in case. Let's see what Aster looks to do with it.
They got to do a lot.
Going. Yep.
This is going to be the test for Aster.
They're going to perhaps get a nice flank here. Setting up around bottom. Noob does have the BKB off. If he just gets it off, he'll be fine. But if they can get the disable on him beforehand...
They'll probably get poor old Kaori.
I believe they will.
As indeed, yeah, they're aware of stuff going down now. Kaori. There won't be any escape for him. But that's all part of the plan. Noob's able to walk away freely.
5 of the 7 deaths so far. It's Kaori. And that is well worth it as a 5 position in this type of game where you're the only one really getting picked off.
No, sure. I mean, it's also a situation, right, where Aster, they
catch him. They get the Hex.
Do they have enough lockdown? Lucid Beam, stun, Eclipse, fingers there, but the BKB's out in time.
He's gone.
And he is away with the onslaught and the TP.
And that is 2 ultimates used. The first finger, I believe, of the game. And of course, that Eclipse that comes out from Monet. That actually caught him off guard. I think it was the lens that caught him off guard. The Hex. And he survives anyway, but super long range that comes out there from the Boca. Either way, though, don't get anything out of those.
No, Quest is happening. I mean, it's 2 ultimates used, and it's also the fact that Aster, as soon as they picked up the Aegis, they kind of get pulled all the way back to their own tier 2 down on the bottom lane. So just Quest kind of pulling Aster all across the map and not into the places that Aster want to be for these pushes.
Aster looks like they're just going to bypass and go for tower here, even without a creep wave, perhaps. I don't blame him.
I've got the BKB timing on Monet. It's going to be making its way out. So
BKB's up, and Noob's is going to be still on cooldown for about 40 seconds. West, they're gathering a little bit. You have the global. They've got everything at the ready.
They will fight at the tier 2.
The BKB when Noob's got it back up.
Actually, yeah, true. Maybe that 30 seconds is going to be enough of a window for us to do some damage here. I mean,
there's a glyph. Got the spam from the chakra. See, I mean, they want to just push through it. They'll force the glyph. Got the setup here over on the side here.
Noob was holding out for a power room, but it's going to end up spawning top. It's still a shield room.
Very good one. That's a really good one to hold a tower in particular.
Yeah, this tier 2 tower push is going to get a bit complicated now for us. They do, of course, have Aegis and BKB and the Monet.
Okay, the stuns. He's in deep.
He's going in super deep. See if he can live through this. They get the lift up into the pulverizer.
Opponent clips.
Getting low underneath the turnaround there in time. Mark will die, but the damage has been done. Samael is out. So is the Boka. Pichu's in trouble. They have to split. They've got to run here, Aster.
Can they run? Noob's after them.
Onslaught's at the ready, closing in onto the gap onto Monet. Chakram from Amar connects. Monet, he's down the once, and of course he's going to be back for round 2. He'd already used the beacon the first time round.
So dead.
He is in a whole world of pain. Monet surrounded. Quest take him out. The tier 2's defended. I mean, they barely did any damage at all there, Aster, to the tower. And Quest, they push him back hard now. Being able to blow up the sort of 4K lead. Starting to see now very much the signs that we did feel were coming, Fog.
Yep. I mean, it's actually Aster the one to force the fight, but everyone from Quest is around. They've got global, they've got everything, and it's Noob with the shield rune. It's the tankiest hero in the game. He made even tankier.
We'll see on the replay again here.
I think the Eclipse barely actually connects, but it's just so deep.
Yeah. See Amar able to turn. Throws it down, and then, yeah, just having Noob in with the BKB on the front. They're beyond the tier 2 as well. It was such a risky spot for Aster to take the fight.
Especially if a global comes off. As soon as the global comes out, yeah, your cores, you know, you got a BKB Lash. Or sorry, you've got the Lash in the front, you've got the BKB on Monet, but everybody else is silenced and they can't do anything as the Primal Beast just gets right on top of them and just rips them to shreds. A 5K lead Quest. They're just, it feels like they know exactly how to play versus this draft, and I think they just know it's like all the pressure is really on Aster to play aggressive, and all Quest really has to do is play defensive and just wait for their timings. And that's exactly so far what it feels like they've been doing. Is Kaori, he's got those 5 out of the 8 deaths, but he's actually still farming because of all of the stacks that he's been able to do.
Yeah, he got 2K gold in the bank. Yeah. He's deciding on what to treat himself to.
Feels like a pretty good Glimmer game if he wants to go that route.
Yeah, I think Glimmer or Shift Force, being able to break people. You know, the line comes in with the setup, you want to be able to slide them away so Samael can't get the connecting stun.
Yeah, they're both really nice, and they're going to be able to find themselves Philosopher Stones too, so the Dream, and they'll get the Trusty Shovel, so they're just going to continue maximizing, continue farming. For Aster, I mean, what's next timing? Your big Aegis push, your BKB comes out, and it doesn't really do much of anything to Quest at all.
It feels difficult in these positions, right, for Aster. Like, yeah, what do they look towards next?
That's a great question. Now at this point, it feels like Quest is going to fight every single time that Aster looks to go for them here. As I mean, TA 2000, he's nearly got the Aghanims pretty much done. 600 gold away. It's not easy for Aster.
No, I mean, and it never was going to be against Quest.
Never was going to be against Quest. I mean, against some other teams like these type of push drafts, for sure, can end up catching people off guard, but Quest, they didn't overreact. They knew exactly how to kind of react to stuff. Nope. Grab, have first. Not entirely.
Quite out, trample up, and respects the fact that the tier 2's still there.
He's gonna go in again though anyway.
Doesn't respect it that much.
JK.
He tried for the TP, but Onslaught's back up. Noob able to find that kill. Bringing in the bottom wave as well. This tier 2 probably going to be going down unless we see some faces being shown by Aster.
There's no glyph. It'll get at the least denied. There's TA 2000's Agon. Now it's difficult for Monet in these fights. Even more difficult for Monet in these fights because he's just going to get everything, all his stats sapped from him.
Noob's, he's happy to show himself down. He knows he's pretty much invincible. Level 15 with BKB, ready to pop.
Too tanky. Kaori. Looks like he might go down, perhaps again, actually, the Glimmer.
Wants to turn it. Amar's here, as well as Noob. They turn, put the BKB on towards XXS.
He got the shard off there.
He is able to buy some time here. Under
Monet's dead.
And now with the global, with the silence, the curse, they look to push on towards XXS, but Boka's smell will try and provide some sort of support. Stun catches out Noob, but what was going on with the Luna Fog?
Monet he died to the Morphling in the Rubik, and now everyone else is dying.
Everyone else is dying indeed. Pichu, he's down by a mile. Get the Sora involved. I mean, from the side, TA 2000 just wraps around. They're taking out 3, they're taking out 4.
I mean, these guys are way too good. The understanding of the game, the team play, the coordination. Monet just shows in mid for a second. I think he just gets lifted. They both turn into Lunas, kind of. Double Lucent Beam. They just detonate poor Monet.
Well, tough game for Aster.
I mean, this is
if it wasn't already. I mean, 22 minutes in, they're down 8K, and they have a lineup that needs to be ahead, and they're far from that.
Absolutely. It truly is a masterclass of understanding the way that Quest is able to set up like this, and the next itemization just hurts more and more. Level 18 already on TA2000, who seems like he's the one death in the laning phase, and that's it. Everything else has just been flawless from the side of Quest. Aster, I mean, next big timing would particularly be BKBs and stuff like that, right, for Sumail, but how are they going to kill now these cores? They always have bodies. These two frontliners, just too tanky. There's a global to cover. And yeah, love the itemization. Definitely want to point that out in particular. Just Amar understanding. I mean, he hasn't really had to use it too much. Yeah, he's used it twice, but going to BKB a little bit earlier than usual. Just really understanding that if the fight happens, when it get down bottom, that BKB is going to be the best item he can go for. That is a treat. Really like watching the way that Quest has been able to set stuff up.
And I just sort of wonder, I mean, if you're Aster, do you feel like in this matchup you're going to try another similar approach in terms of like the timings that you go for with the draft with this sort of push focus, this group up focus, or do you want to try something completely different against Quest? You know, what kind of ways do you want to be approaching the game against a team like Quest right now?
I mean, that's just a tough answer, because if this is like your way that you're like, okay guys, we have our Morphling answer, right? We're doing this Visage, we're gonna have the Lion and stuff like that. They only killed him the once. It just everything, and they probably felt like their draft looked pretty good with the way that they can, you know, take advantage of these lanes, but they didn't really take advantage of them nearly enough as much as they needed to, it felt like. Yeah, Nuke got shut down, but he got a haste rune, he got a double kill with this first rotation. It seemed like kind of the dream for him, so it's tough. Because if this is your idea and it doesn't work, then you're like, man, do we just not know? Like, Quest just, yeah, one step ahead.
Shadowblade on Mono, very close to the silver edge.
I mean, Aster, they 100% have to get Roshan, or this game is pretty much impossible.
It's going to be difficult. I mean, Quest is heading their way. There's almost certainly going to be a team fight kicking off first.
There's definitely situations where be like these double tombstones. They have a Rubik and a Morphling, so I think that's probably why he only won 1 point in Tombstone this game and 4 in Soul Rip, just to get that heal snowball going and not give up level 4 Tombstone twice. Good to get the E word, and they still will have their ward, so they're going to get some good information here on Quest. Everyone's set up. Super tanky frontliners. Aster, yeah, it's like they have to blow up one here, but they have to expend literally everything to maybe even not get that kill. Sneaking in.
Quest is ready to go. Jump forward down at the high ground. Straight away, Noobs in with the pulverized jumps. The back lines finds Pichu. Corey in trouble, but no, the glimmer's there. Corey's going to be fine. The buyback will come out from Pichu. As Aster, they have to split. Wait. And focusing XXS will be able to protect himself for now with the Stonefall.
Well, they already used BKB.
Now Quest, they can look to just really continue to push the issue here. As the Tombstone will get the drop down, they'll be able to focus towards it. Boka gets completely destroyed. Tierney found the pot the BKB. He's looking at trying to stay on top of Samel now. It turns episode over towards XXS. As XXS does focus down Corey. Will manage to kill him. So die back on the silencer. Jump forward from Amar. He gets the telekinesis onto XXS. The Visage is gone. Amar just bullying both Pichu and Samel. So turn their attention over towards Noob, but Noob's got back up. Tier 2000 waveforms forward aggressively. Noob's able to onslaught back up to the safe on the high ground. Tier 2000 is pretty untouchable. Same to be said for Amar. Samel, XXS, they have to back away from this. XXS, of course, buying back, trying to get into this fight to help out Amar.
What a stun!
They're able to catch Samel with a stolen stun. Samel tries to turn himself, but his own stun will miss. Amar has the chakram down. Noob with the pulverized. Samel is gone. Quest, they take the fight. By Aster dropping the 2 buybacks for that one.
A fancy little slide through there with the 4-step stun, but a godly initiation overall from Quest. They just go, okay, we're just going to start the fight. A blink BKB Primal Beast, just ulting them with a global silence to cover. Monet literally BKB Silver Edges and runs instantly from the fight. That's the whole
look at this
of the start.
That's a star points there from Omar. Sliding in with the stun.
16k gold lead.
Yeah, they just can't take a fight. I mean, Aster, they did their best efforts to kind of keep that one going and sort of split Quest up themselves, but...
I mean, they just keep on killing Kaori, but that's all, that's it. It's just Kaori. He dies twice, he's 7 of the 10 deaths.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah, the 3 cores just... The super kind of an elusive core is just swinging back in and out of the fight over and over again. And they're super tanky.
And they're soon to be even more tanky. I mean, bottom of the lane, Noob. Sumail has found him, but yeah, nothing really Sumail could do. Even if he gets a stun, BKB is always there for Noob. Noob's going to be looking to get this heart next on top of the Kaya Sanj. So he's just going to have far too much HP. Ain't nobody getting through those numbers.
And look at this. I mean, Mar, look at the build. He's going Refresher now. That's
oh, the old...
I mean, more BKBs.
BKB.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good luck fighting into double BKBs and stuff like that. They're clearly not able to actually have any physical damage in the fights, as you see from Aster. Monet cannot actually just stand his ground and hit anybody. He's also just going to lose all his stats from the Ags morph, so... Cool approach. They're just really recognizing the fact that it's just magic damage. And they'll have to fight. Level 20 on Amar, 507, flawless game from him. As we've come to expect from his Timbersaw. Even if they do look for like counter picks and stuff like that, somehow he just doesn't die. They picked a Luna Undying lane versus him. Jeez.
Quest themselves, they're ready to go for the base. You know how strong they are and how very little Aster can really do to stop them. They're going to try and get the catch onto the tier 2000.
It's fine, it's Sumail, careful.
The BKB for this effort, Sumail. So there won't be any fight to occur as Quest can back off.
Boca can never really go for any type of play to initiate. No Blink Dagger ever in Realms of Sight since he had to go for the Lens build. And yeah, there's just a Lincolns from the start of the game from TA 2000. Well, we'll go for the split push. He's like, I don't want to be down there because I don't have my BKB. And Tombstone's already committed. He's going to commence here for Quest. Nope, gonna cut the mid wave. They're just gonna cut in.
The opening onto tier 2000, but again, he's saved out to the side.
Omar, an instant force staff. He's even looking to set up for Sumail because he knows Sumail does not have the BKB.
Yeah, they saw him pop it on the defense down bottom. So Omar is going to start playing around with Sumail.
He's got a stun. He actually whips it.
He's going to try and TP out, but the onslaught's there from Noob. As they've caught Sumail, and they've killed him off. He's out for 50.
No hesitation. I mean, Omar literally, like, Sumail showed himself for like a split second too close to tier 2. And Omar just an instant TP'd again, get on top of him. And they knew he didn't have BKB. Can't get away.
Yeah, I think one of those moves as well from Sumail, which is he knows the game's in a pretty hopeless position, so he goes for the risky farm. He knows it's probably not going to go well, but he also knows that regardless of what he does at this point, it's probably not going to go well for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone be done now.
Yeah, you just have to try to find anyone on the map to get something, but you're just constantly getting hunted. Noob, as you said, he now has the heart done. 7, 0, and 9 also on him.
Yeah, look at his HP.
Yeah, like 4.6k or something.
It's got to be up there.
Nothing like that.
Not what these magic damage dealing heroes want to be looking at.
No. Let's see. Okay, 4.4. Either way, good luck bringing him down.
Yep.
All 3 cores just feel like their effective HP is unbelievable. It's Aster.
See if there's anything they can do here on the base defense. I mean, they were able to push in. BKB makes the jump over towards Monet.
Deleted.
Carry gone. Sumail's down as well. No buyback available on Sumail. Monet does have buyback. But Sumail and Pichu are gone. Quest.
Look at Noob. 0 damage being taken. A free initiation for him every time. Blink, BKB global. Good luck going against that.
There's nothing you can do against it.
Nope. And TA 2000, he's like, okay, I'm a Luna. I push actually nice and fast here.
It's a full set mid. They'll look towards down to take down the bottom as well.
Still a minute left on the Aegis too. Going for Monet again.
There's the jump, Noob. This time Monet gets the BKB off.
He's in the Tombstone.
He's into the Tombstone for now. They'll give him a little bit of safety. Tier 2000 caught by the Hex. That's the Aegis taken out of the hands of Tier 2000, but Amar He's in with a Shadow Crisp on top of Monet and Pichu. Monet can't get back to the fountain, out for 100 seconds. The dieback on him. As XXS tries his best to bring Omar down, will get him, but it costs him his life. 3 dead, no buybacks, and they'll tap out. GG is called as Quest Esports looking pretty impossible to beat in this game 1.
I mean, a pretty flawless game from the... Again, as we've just come to expect, I feel like the supports, they're the ones to die a lot. 10 of the 11 deaths from the side of Quest, it was those supports. So they know who to give up the kills on, and they know how to wait for timings and just, yeah, they know that Aster's on a timer. They take the perfect fight around that tier 2, devastate them completely, as they were never even really behind in this game at all. They kind of kept